Good morning. I actually made it here on time today. Wait just a minute. Let some folks join us and get my computer synced up so I can see you, or at least see your comments. Here we go. Okay. Good morning, Mary and Linda. I see y'all coming in now. There's Val. Got the moderators joining us. Good morning, Barbara. Good morning, Fran. So, I hope y'all had a good weekend. Hope you had a lot of time to relax and enjoy the sunshine. It is so ridiculously hot here in Texas. Yesterday, our temperature got up to, good morning, Papa James and Nana Shirley and Candace. Yesterday, our temperature got up to the 1 teens, and our air conditioner, although it's new, just could not keep up. So I don't like the heat. I'm a Texas girl born and raised, but boy, it's just been crazy hot. I'm also dragging a little bit. I mentioned online in response, and I know I'm not the only one, so I'm not trying to draw attention to me, but I have to go back this Friday for a second mammogram. Apparently I flunked the first one, and so I'll be going Friday for a follow-up and possible sonogram, and so I appreciate your prayers. Okay, let's get into our subject. I told you I was going to talk to you today about the truth about Weight Watchers. As you know, we see a lot of comments on our site, and I'm sure on all the others if you participate on any others, about what Weight Watchers is. And most people are very adamant that it is what they perceive it to be in their mind. Yesterday, I think it was, there was a quite heated exchange that we ended up having to close because people got quite upset that Weight Watchers is no longer going to allow weighing in your bare feet. And for a while, when they started that, or when they implemented that policy, they allowed us to weigh standing on a paper towel. Well, that changed, and so that is no longer going to be allowed. Is it for health reasons? Is it for eco reasons? Is it for liability reasons? I don't know. I'm not in the boardroom at Weight Watchers when those decisions are made, and they don't share those decisions oftentimes with the employees. But keep in mind that while Weight Watchers' mission statement says that they are a global wellness company that inspires millions to adopt healthy habits for real life. That's what Weight Watchers says they are. Now, keeping in mind that Weight Watchers is owned by stockholders, shareholders, so they have to answer to a host of people about those decisions. They have to be careful that they're not letting themselves be open to liability lawsuits or health restrictions and those things. So, but regardless of why they make their decisions about the little things like the paper towels or whether or not you should weigh in wearing socks or shoes, really in the grand scheme of things, those don't matter. What matters is what's going on in your mind and what's going into your body. Now, what I have found Weight Watchers to be is they are adaptable. The program is adaptable. I have been able to take Weight Watchers with me in life through different phases of my life and through different events. It gives me the flexibility to not panic when I have a work dinner thrown at me, or when I have a church dinner that I need to participate in, or I have a family event coming up. Weight Watchers has given me the ability to adapt my points, my food choices, my recipes. So that's one of the things that Weight Watchers is. It's adaptable. Weight Watchers is also changeable. And if you don't agree, let's think back to how many changes have occurred in the Weight Watchers plan since the first time you started. Now, some of us got to meet online yesterday and chat with Jack, who we all know and love. And Jack was sharing with me that he remembers being a Weight Watchers member when Jean, the founder, was still alive and conducting meetings. And I asked Jack, I said, I bet you've seen a lot of changes over the years. And he said he had, but they're all good. Now, some of us don't like change. And so when Weight Watchers implements a change or a tweak, sometimes our knee-jerk reaction is to resist. Some of us are still resisting Freestyle. Some of us are still resisting Smart Points. That's the beauty of Weight Watchers. If you aren't comfortable following the Freestyle guidelines, that's okay. If you're not comfortable not counting points for corn or for chicken or for your eggs, that's okay. It doesn't make you a bad member, and it doesn't make you a better member because you choose to follow the Freestyle guidelines. If that were true, then we would have to say that a year ago, when we were supposed to track 2 points for an egg, we were wrong. We weren't wrong. We were just following the guidelines that were current at the time. Now, science, the brains behind the science of Weight Watchers tell us that we don't have to count 2 points for eggs. But that would imply that it was wrong before, if it's right now. Neither are right, neither are wrong. You have to find which way you are comfortable and which way works for you. The current model that Weight Watchers is following is the Freestyle Smart Points plan. And the current model tells us that we don't have to count points for the foods on that list. But if someone chooses to, maybe they choose to stay with Points Plus because they found success in that and they're comfortable with that. I'm not about to tell them that they're wrong and that they're doing it wrong and that they're not a good Weight Watchers member, because that's just not my place. And I truly believe that Weight Watchers is adaptable and it's changeable, and that's okay. Weight Watchers is also sustainable. Jack is proof of that. Many of you are proof of that. I've been able to sustain my weight loss for coming up on 2 years. And can I tell you that there have been weeks that the scale went up? There have been weeks that I didn't eat according to plan. There have been meals that didn't look like a Weight Watchers meal. But what Weight Watchers gave me and what Weight Watchers is giving you is the knowledge, the tools to adjust your life. And if you have an off meal or an off day or even an off weekend, it's never far from here. It may not be here on your tracker, but it's never far from here. So while you're eating that high calorie or high point dessert that isn't really a Weight Watchers friendly or Weight Watchers approved, for lack of a better word, what Weight Watchers gives us is the knowledge to know that, okay, this probably isn't the best choice, but I know how to get myself back under control. I know how to rein this in so that I don't spiral out of control and just start eating everything in sight. It gives us the ability to look at that one meal, not let it derail us, and get right back to the healthy habits for real life. We're going to have those days. We're going to have those meals. Some of us may even have a week. You know, maybe you're on vacation and you give yourself permission to enjoy the food choices that are in front of you. I dare say most of us, though, will enjoy them a little bit less than we would have before. Maybe we have a smaller portion, or we figure out really quickly that our body just doesn't deal well with it anymore. That's what Weight Watchers is. It's this. It's the knowledge, the habit, the healthy habit that will get us through the difficult days and the difficult meals and the difficult choices. So while I don't know if Weight Watchers will change the plan again, who knows? If they do, here's what I do know. I do know that I have the ability to go with the flow, to decide what works best for my body, and to do that. I don't eat a lot of starchy vegetables. Even though I may have the points, I don't, because I have learned how my body responds to those choices. I'm opting to not eat sugar anymore. Is that a Weight Watchers decision? No, it's a decision I've made because I know how my body feels when I eat sugar. So while my daily choices won't look like your daily choices, I'm still a Weight Watcher, and you're still a Weight Watcher, because what is Weight Watchers? It's healthy habits for real life. My healthy habit will look different than your healthy habit. And I think that's what Weight Watchers gives us. They have guidelines, and of course there's a plan and there's a program, and if we follow that program, it will start instilling in us those healthy habits. But eventually we're all going to have to kind of veer a little bit off of the program to figure out what works best for our own individual bodies. Weight Watchers can't tell me that. They don't know my body. They don't know how I respond to sugar, or how you respond to beef, or how your neighbor responds to bread, or I saw where somebody said something about licorice. Licorice isn't a prohibited Weight Watchers food choice, but for you it may need to be. Do you see what I'm saying? So what Weight Watchers is not, in my opinion, it is not a this list you must eat, this list you must not eat. I've been on plans that's exactly what it is. They give me a list of food and I may eat from this list and I may not eat from this list. That's not what Weight Watchers is to me. Weight Watchers gives me suggested food choices, recommended food choices, but should I choose to eat off of this list, they give me the knowledge and the tools to know how to implement those into my diet choices. So it's easy for us to say, oh, you shouldn't eat that. Well, I shouldn't eat that. You may be okay with it. So I try to always preface my advice to somebody with what I have found works for me is, and then I tell them, and then I share. But that may not work for you. So don't get so hung up on the, oh my gosh, I ate something that had points and so that makes me a bad Weight Watcher. That's just not the case. You're learning healthy habits for you for a lifetime. That's what Weight Watchers is. Different people are going to have different goals. Weight Watchers is going to look different on you than it does on the person sitting beside you. Your plate will look different, your choices will look different, and your results will be different. Some people will consistently lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. I've seen them. I've checked in people at Weight Watchers meetings that it just seems like clockwork. And then I've checked in people at Weight Watchers that they'll lose a pound and then they'll gain a few ounces. And then they'll lose 2 pounds and then they'll gain a half a pound. Is one person doing it better than the other? Nope. Always, consistently, if you look at the weight loss graph, it's eventually going down. Some people, it's a steady decline. Some people, it goes straight and then drops and then comes up and then drops. And then some people, it looks like a zigzag all the way, but eventually it's going to go down. It's all different. Doesn't mean that one's any better than the other. That's what Weight Watchers is. I read something this morning that said, if there's no vision in front of you, you'll be dragged back to the path you know well. If there's no vision in front of you, to quote a scripture, there's a scripture, and I've learned the King James growing up, but it says, without a vision, people perish. This says, if there's no vision in front of you, you'll be dragged back to the path you know well. How many of us have found that to be true? If we're not focused on our future and our goal, we're very easily dragged back to those old habits. We have to keep our goal forefront in front of us. However you do that, whether it's picture board or quotes that you put on your mirrors or a bracelet that you wear, or I have my turtle on today, whatever you need to do to keep your goal in the front of your mind, then you're not so easily dragged back to those old bad habits. Brenda, who asked me? Rhonda, where's the verse at? I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I'll post it. And if somebody knows or can look it up, that would be great. Keep your goal in the front of your mind. Maybe it's an outfit, maybe it's a picture, whatever it is. Refer to it often. And when you do that, those bad habits take a back seat. They're not as loud as they used to be. The voice screaming at you, you're hungry, eat those cookies. You don't listen to it as much as you used to. When you're out at a restaurant, maybe you're driving through fast food and you order the burger and fries, and you find that you just don't finish it. Did it taste good? Yeah, but I don't need all of it. Maybe I got the burger, but I didn't get the fries. Or you go to a restaurant that normally you would have eaten this horribly high-calorie dish. You give yourself permission to do it again when you get there, but then all of a sudden you decide, you know what, I don't want that. Proverbs 29:18. Thank you, Becky. I knew it was a Proverbs. I just couldn't remember the site. You decide, you know what, I don't really want that, and you get something healthier. That's what Weight Watchers is. Weight Watchers can give us guidelines. Weight Watchers can give us suggestions. Weight Watchers can give us encouragement, but we have to implement the plan that works best for us. And that doesn't make us a better or a worse Weight Watchers member. It just makes us human, and the successful people on Weight Watchers are the ones that have figured out what works for them, and they do that. And they do it consistently. And they do it even when it doesn't feel like it's working. They do it because in their mind they know that it's good for them. I hope you got something out of that today. I just want so badly for you to understand that those little slip-ups, those choices to indulge a little bit, don't make you a bad Weight Watchers member. They just make you normal. You don't know the people that you see at your meetings that you admire, that you think, man, they have got it all together. They're doing this perfectly. You don't know the times that they chose to go off plan for a meal, or the struggles, or the times they didn't want to step on the scale, or the times they did step on the scale and they were discouraged because maybe they didn't share that with you. But I guarantee you everybody has those days. We're all human, we're all learning, and we're all just trying to build those healthy habits that will sustain us for a lifetime. And for every person who does that, Weight Watchers has been a success. Just focus on you this week. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Don't blame yourself for any bad choice. You can't go back to yesterday and do anything different. You can't do anything different yet tomorrow, because we're only given today. So today, just be the best you can be for today. And tomorrow will take care of itself. Yesterday's gone. It's in the books. There's nothing we can do about it. We don't have to go back and reread it. But don't beat yourself up over whatever happened over the weekend. Just focus on today. All right? Don't forget the Labor Day Challenge is going on. You still have plenty of time to reach some of your goals by Labor Day. And regardless, we will all be a little bit better off in a few days when Labor Day comes, right? If nothing else, maybe the weather will be a little bit cooler. Rhonda says, how do you deal with a parent who always asks how many points is that all the time? You know what? This may surprise you. My family is going to laugh at this, but I tend to be a smart aleck sometimes when people start annoying me with things like that. So sometimes I'll tell them, and sometimes I'll say something like, not as many as you might think, or, you know, something like that. They're probably just curious. They're probably not trying to annoy you. I have found that most of the time, people are just trying to engage in conversation with something that they feel is important to you. So maybe they're asking because they want you to know that they are noticing that you're making better choices, and that's their way of affirming what you're doing. So, you know, it depends on the person. It depends on the circumstance, I guess. But that's probably what I would either tell them the truth, or I would say something like, not as many as you might think, or, you know, whatever it is, I have enough to cover it, because I've made the choice. I've made choices today to allow me to have this. Have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for your promises of prayer. I certainly appreciate them. I've shared with Lisa, one of our moderators, we talk, trying to be encouragement, me trying to be an encouragement to her, and somehow she always ends up encouraging me. But one of my favorite old hymns is what I'm holding on to this week, and it simply says, "Many things about tomorrow I don't seem to understand, but I know who holds tomorrow, and I know he holds my hand." So I don't know what I'm going to find out Friday, but I know that God's in control, and so I put my trust and my faith in that. I hope you have a wonderful week. I will get on later today and try to answer any of your questions, and I thank you so much for being support and encouragement to each other. And have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the board. Bye.